To another episode, the last of the real podcast. You know, it's me again. The one where Mr. Ryan Anderson want to call boring, but you know, we just start the facts and talk it straight and plain. As Zian, your host. And who there?
And of course, you know, it's the one and only Andre Snap in the building.
No, Ryan come home from church, tired, hungry, but we look good still. So we'll continue.
You're always hungry.
I have no idea why this guy have the weirdest intro. The weirdest. But nonetheless, the best for last, JRP.
Alright. So you know, we just have kicked off the usual way right now. Where we do our 10 in 10, aka the weird 10. So right about now, we want to talk about our first topic maker. Minister Marian Hall says she's walking away from our calling. People, why can't you not leave Miss Hall alone?
You're talking about preaching on social media, right?
Yes, preaching on social media. She said she's done. She can't do it no more.
All right. I mean, she can probably shut up now. That's my
Our media when all of the news come out.
I agree.
Super Bowl.
She should not shut up German, as you say, because she has a voice to the people as far as reaching out to them, coming from a dancehall. So she having that understanding of what that has put her from can minister to them.
Yeah.
Miss Marianne has been contradicting herself a lot.
A lot. But number 2 on the listener, just like Ryan, gospel singer Omari is telling the public to pray for Miss Hall or leave her alone.
But the thing is, though, with that, as far as the quote unquote leaving her alone, you see, when they come public and you're in a public space and you speak on public topics, you're going to get backlash. And that's just reality. You're going to open up yourself to backlash. So it's about having the backbone for take on what's to come.
So I guess
the situation is that she has been folding. So on that perspective, yeah, pray her up. Because she has a voice.
You think it's just folding, or she should have not interfere in certain public matters in the first place?
I would say, who more to talk about these things than her?
But who more to have an understanding about these things than her?
That's another perspective, yes.
But the manner that she came out and bashed the 3 ladies, it was just totally a no-no. Like she had played God and the bookkeeper. Like she just ready for cast some judgment on everybody.
It was strong. But keeping it Miss Hall, number 3, because it looked like she make the 10 this week.
It's a history, this 3-peat for her.
I tell you, 3P is a hot trick. Not even West Indies bowl and I'll do that again. Sisters Hall property is for sale after dog bite.
How much free property?
No, 3 mil. That's sell for 3 mil.
I call in HT tomorrow.
But you know, at this name, when it really pours, still low.
$3 million, that's not so, right?
That's not right.
No, well, yeah, I mix up it. No, the 3 minutes to pay off.
To pay the woman, yeah, the 3 minutes to pay the woman.
More than that, man. No, some more than that. Think
like Snipe, you just crush my dreams.
Then
but what me I say, Snipe?
Rush that before you.
But what me I say, Snipe? Yeah, you need 3 mil to pay somebody, right? Because your dog bite them. And it was a couple years ago. And you can't don't pay the people them yet? Or pay it off yet?
But who does the chef money?
Good point.
So Snipe, we are trying to say Minister Marianne Hall broke.
No, broke, you know, but she up on the borderline, she just live on share little line. So to go out her pocket that 3 million, that's all goes through off real off. I'm not gonna say she broke, but she not rich.
Rough. Well, we're gonna take it and move overseas with it, you know. Because in Germany, a drunk truck driver leaves a trail of destruction. I don't know if the man them see the video, but this truck driver crashed into several vehicles and buildings, causing some of them to burst into fire.
Wow.
So, yeah, man,
What
the video
was he
is graphic. I don't know, but it was something strong.
Very strong.
Yeah.
So that was intentional.
No, man, him just junk, but because 3 people, including him, were injured and he had to be pulled, from the wreckage.
When I want your theme bill.
Yeah, I understand. Our insurance.
Insurance, people dead?
No, nobody not dead.
What everything?
But 3 injured.
My girl talk about the bill.
Tell you. And crazy, one of the bystanders said that after the aftermath looked like something out of a war scene.
It's some apocalypse something. Like some Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead, when after everything start happening, you see the fire broke out, yes, they must show from the aerial view, man. My gosh.
Because all the building them catch on fire.
Wow.
But keeping it, with the team.
I want to recreate that in a movie scene.
More than likely. You probably see it. You probably see it coming to a theater near you.
Drunken man set the world on fire.
Hollywood can use a scene,
I said, Jamie.
Hollywood can use a scene, man.
My God, yes,
right. But here's a next scene for you, Ryan. Killer whale drug smuggling operation busted. Now when I saw the title, I'm like, killer whale. Here we go on. There's some drug smugglers, right, from Morocco. They are faking both accidents as a distraction in order to smuggle in their drugs into Europe.
So all the killer whale coming involved now?
What happened now is because they were doing some unusual maneuvers, the radar will pick them up and see. They said their boat was under attack by some killer whales and they had to maneuver to get away. Tell me now, if them man and I think outside the box.
That's creative.
So all the drugs go in the killer whale,
no, they just use the killer whale as an excuse. Say attack them boat.
Oh.
So when Coast Guard come out, instead of a search up the boat, the Coast Guard have a more concern for their
rescuing them. So by rescuing them, but that's still not. No, I'm not think that's smart because by rescuing them, I still try to find out if I'm not upon them or what are them personals and is me answer the drugs.
No, man, the drugs not go upon them personal. The drugs are go in the hull of the boat.
So they carry the boat on shore too.
Exactly.
But then I think for search the boat still as a Coast Guard do just to make sure.
You ain't that pray that. You survive a killer whale attack, a shake you and buy you a drink. But just now put you behind the wheel of a truck.
What is this topic?
That one I get even weirder. As a frontier passenger accuses a woman of sticking him with a needle to steal his DNA.
What?
I read.
May I tell you? But in a real, listen what happened. After the man boarded the flight from New York to Florida, he started screaming and shouting at everyone and saying that the woman behind him was trying to steal his DNA. Right? Apparently the man was a little bit crazy because he started to scream at even a baby saying he's going to kill everyone on board.
Was he
drunk? Why not drink the same drink as a truck driver?
That me a wonder,
Mr. Vander, who's it?
Stevie Vander Hayden, sir.
Vander
Hayden, man. Don't spoil the man name.
Mr. Vander Hayden.
Don't spoil the man name. Yo, we're going to bring it back local though, because a fisherman gets 34 years behind bars for gun and drugs trade.
Well, I got the right place to catch fish.
Honestly. Why wonder one, brother? What? Why?
Sorry. No.
That reminds me of a Boondock scene, brother, with the Booty Warrior. Why, brother? Yo, Brian, you're good.
Where are you laughing from?
Yo, I like him forget still enough. Yeah, man, I like him forget. Yeah, you should have gone for drugs thing there.
That's not fault. No mute there.
I was for people in putting a danger still with that now, so I don't mind the charge. I don't mind the charge.
Yeah, I don't mind the charge. I like not still.
You know him age, Brian?
No, some don't know him age, you know.
Okay. Boy, I'm gonna lock up for quite some time.
I tell you, 34 years, not top your son, brother.
Yeah,
All right. I tell you. Well, we're going to keep it local still, you know, because, you know, 2 are allegedly charged for lottery scamming. And 5 more are in custody. No, you remember when we talk about the whole scamming thing and how it to the country?
Yeah, man, to the country bad.
But the police, them a clap down on them hard, you know. Right? Really hard. And the lottery scammers, them might take some unusual means to try to protect themselves. Because here, number 9 now, Obia Isle and lottery scam equipment seized by police.
Question.
Yeah.
Them I say Obia illegal, so how you sell Obia Isle? Where you gonna buy it?
Illegally. Them sell it illegally. St. Thomas, man, everybody don't know what that sell, man.
See, me usually see a couple pharmacies that sell them product there, but I don't call them name.
That day.
I'm just there.
Well,
you can't get them in the church though.
Hey! Here you know.
You can't get them at church.
Here you know.
Kevin Smith would have jacked before and gone.
That guy, I met Mariana do a next video now and burn you out.
Yo, but we have a finish off on a little bit of sad news still, because number 10, you know, is a businessman who built a plaza is now forced to sell in the back of a van.
So why was forced to sell?
Because the municipal, you know, people them come in and seize the property and say all renters should now be paying them instead of this individual. So because him have all that money tied up in that, and he was forced to leave, mafia selling goods from out of the back of a van.
It wasn't purchase, it was a lease.
Alright. So you see, him a collect rent and municipal come in and say, stop it, right, yes. But I have, so we're gonna stop the weird thing, you know, because I have something on my mind from one day. Yeah. No,
as usual.
Yeah, man, a whole heap of thinking me doing. Yeah, man, some of them might not so nice, but a whole heap of thoughts run through the little cranium. And since Jameelia is here, you know, she can shed some light on what go on. Now, I want to ask the man them, as man and man,
and woman,
what would prefer? And woman, what would prefer? A traditional woman or a more so-called modern day woman?
You see, right there, alone, the question left to me overloading. Because if you say that traditional versus modern, the line they're blurry. Where you put that line, if you say this is traditional, this is modern, and a lot of women to me feel like them blend it. And most of the traditional women them are more become modern women, so to speak.
The modern I daddy them tonight. Modern I daddy
them. What you call it, daddy them?
You know, that's what I was going to ask. At what point you stop being a traditional woman and then transitioning a modern day woman? You know, when Brother Ryan sent me the question, I wonder how you would classify or how you would group the traditional woman, because even though you know, modern day me thinks I want traditional woman still.
We can share what the definition of a traditional woman is first.
Yeah, man.
So it says a traditional or trad wife, short for traditional wife, is a neologism that denotes a woman who prefers to take a traditional or ultra-traditional role in marriage, including the beliefs that a woman's place is in the home and that wife should be under a husband's wing protection. Some may have chosen to leave careers in business or in public life to focus instead on their families and raising children.
All right, good enough definition.
So what the modern day woman?
I'm independent.
There's no definition.
We don't need no man.
I'm strong. I can do all by myself. Same way so it go. I'm strong. I can do all by myself.
And every modern day woman stays someone.
No man, no.
But I just the general definition for them that.
The go-getter.
No, yeah.
But no, listen up. But by definition, Ryan just give you know.
Yeah.
It's not a woman stay at home. You don't want to limit to that because I would say that I've seen traditional women know who them out take care of the home husband plus them do a hell of a work out the road and make them own money and
right.
But Snipe, that was a transition into because at first, like I was saying before, you know, the real meaning of the traditional woman was the one that stay at home and just depends solely on their husband. And then the transition started to happen. You know, you stay at home now and then you start to do other rest of things.
So in other words, then once they are working, the man of traditional wife then. Is that what we are saying?
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. Yeah, you could say that because the meat.
What about the values? The values, in my opinion, you know, and I say the work differentiate the traditional from the modern, you know, are the values. You understand? The values of alright, like alright. A traditional woman will value being a parent once she has a partner, while a modern day woman, while still values being a parent, does not necessarily value having a partner. You see me, I say?
And a change in culture and how things are contributes to that because nowadays you realize the home is now broken. So whereas you really had a lot of families, you know, marriages back then, you're not seeing that now. You get what I'm saying? You where a lot of people, women are single mothers now. And they're the one completely taking care of the household. We're devoid of a father.
And as Ryan said, no, I was remember reading an article and they were saying that you find that a lot more women these days, they are literally telling them to Yaw-Feh. You need to take your and pick myself. They literally take
but not playing devil's advocate, you know. Some of that are coming off of frustration too, you know.
But what I'm saying that we have seen roles where the man is willing to play in part. In part as effective as how she wants. But just because he's not fully into how she wanted, he doesn't say, yo, I'll go and do it back.
Yeah, but when a man willing to play their part, that's how much out of 10.
Alright, how much are we in our room right there, sir? 4, 5.
Because remember now, Korean touch on single mother, and a single mother come long time, especially in Jamaica, you know.
Yeah. And that was
before
the woman's choice.
And that was before even the concept of modern day woman.
Sorry, Pinto, you missed the point when I try to make it picture. The point when I try to make saying now. Back then, as far as we know, it wasn't the single man didn't have a choice. A man just abandoned.
A man cut.
Right. I'm saying nowadays you find more. The percentage is small, but yes, you find that these days women are telling a man, is that you can't go do your thing, me do it myself.
And like me say, I understand that, but most time women take that angle is based on frustration with them seeing that the partner leading up to pregnancy.
And then even in pregnancy, sorry Brian, even in pregnancy, because you realize no, a lot of relationships end after a child comes into play.
Because straight up she tell us she doesn't want to deal with you and your foolishness.
But my point, right? You see that see a modern day thing that where I'm fine being a single woman, a single mother. That happened to me where I say, yo, I want to play my role. I want to play my part. Right? No, I can make it as a single mother. Right? Because you know why? The fact that in many countries, unfortunately, not Jamaica, a modern day woman will get protection and get provided for by the government. So they're fine saying, I can do this by myself. I want to be a single mother. Back in the day, a modern woman depend on them partner instead.
A traditional woman, you mean? A traditional woman.
Traditional woman, yeah. We work with them partner instead of, me can do it by myself, but I know a government that will provide.
But Brian, you can look on that as well, you know. Because remember, maybe optional choices were limited back then as well.
They were, because that's where the women's rights movement came about in the 20th century. Because I can think about so many things that were happening, especially in the household. Now let's be real now. We know how men can be, right? And how, you know, the toxic masculinity. So I can imagine even a lot of these households, the issues that were there that are still prevalent now, as far as them feeling oppressed and, you know, being kept not able to express themselves a particular way. And then publicly, you know, a woman weren't able to vote and a lot of these things. So that's where it came about. But as we see over the years and the breakdown in household and society and a whole, things have changed. So women even have become more dominant.
So, Rian, yeah, Travis says, so even back then, when a woman basically want to get out, then get out of the relationship, then we just forcefully have to stay night.
Yeah, because I believe so.
Because they really never have no choice. They really never have no choice.
They really never have a choice.
Compared
so
to
I look
no.
at a lot of factors that would have caused a lot of the breakdown in how things were before. Because, all right, if I should prefer one, right? I view it from a biblical standpoint, and the man is supposed to lead. You understand? And we had this discussion. I think it was relationship about man going against their natural order of doing things. You know, how man turn gruff these days, and is it said? Yeah. Right? A man is to protect, to cover. You understand? In some households and some relationships can work this way, and many have worked over the years, because as you say, traditional, where the women were take care of the house, because a woman's nature is to nurture and cultivate what's already established. You understand? Yeah. I don't want to get too deep biblical about it, going back to Adam and Eve and so on, but that's the nature of the woman, to help the man, being a helpmate. You understand? So his vision, she helped him carry his vision by taking care of what he has already been stewarding. You understand? And you see where a lot of households have been successful that way. You get me, I say? But then I also believe that she can work as well, and two of us come together and provide, but also balancing the order of things. You see me, I say? Well, may I say make sense?
Yeah, man, totally.
Yeah, man.
Yes, that's the intended plan for the household. But there are things that came along, because I talk to a lot of women most times, and we hear them concerned, we hear all of them go through in a relationship. Sometimes they are saying that even though the man don't want them for work, at the same time, on the other hand, the man is not providing for her individual needs. So even though yes, he might provide household stuff, household items, he not provide as it relates to her self-care. He's not providing for basically leisure activities, stuff like that. So that's where the independence now from the woman came along, where woman say they need to just go find them own money and do them own thing, because you know this not really a workout, because me have to always depend on the man's money, or the weekly money, or the monthly money, and it just not cut it, you know.
So
I know that's a good point to draw there. That's a good point to draw there, sir. No?
Yeah, because this sound like if the woman more want her thing, like she wants her leisure, like you say, you know. So she
not necessarily just her, because the reality is that, Brian, especially in Jamaica, sometimes we bite off more than what we can chew. We gotta take care of the house, we gotta take care of this, and the money can't stretch far enough.
And the money can't stretch, yeah.
You leave your partner frustrated because she have her needs, and of course she want leisure time as well. She don't want to go to Devon house and eat ice cream too.
Yeah, man.
And you being a sole breadwinner, you can provide. So what happened now? Even I believe one of what causes a lot of the breakdown too. I would say the mindset of men, because in other households like this now compared to back then. And I do have the statistics back then, though, to really make an argument. But we've seen how things have been trending. Now, we see where men like to be in control. Mm-hmm. So in households now where you have a man at the sole breadwinner, that's in all, because if it's properly structured and them genuinely love each other and so on, I can't say that into every household. But you see some man now, as you see in the news, where them harm their partner. That's these situations are where they're the ones who are taking care of them, so they own them. So because of that now, they mistreat them, and you get me, I say them treat them like them as slaves. So once they want to leave, they're not.
Hold on, let me hear Chavi, because that kind of work both ways to Iran. But go on, Chavi.
Yeah, you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Alright. So basically, I can't understand what Jameelia says too. You see me? I understand totally. And that a man doing that now, not say a man doing that would be totally unfair, as Jeremy said, because especially in Jamaica. Because you want to buy it more now, you can't chew. I don't know what that cause a man for really want to do that, because when being afraid, so when a woman work and probably work more money than him, she going to run things or something, because there's a natural balance of things, you know. So you can't want to put everything on yourself, you know.
I think it comes down to the ego of the man in a child.
The ego.
Oh, so the ego are the problem.
That's true.
But
so that's why most men live in a certain situation where you have a question more.
That's why when the woman walk when now, them ego is hit. So they become violent and start.
Violent. You want to kill the woman and them. So you want them
them ego take a hit.
True.
No, looking upon not just the financial side, because like I said, both the traditional and the modern day woman, you know, couldn't work and make them money, right? Mm-hmm. What about the fact that the traditional woman used to leave something to the imagination?
In terms of we attack sex? Sex
brother, in terms of dress, man. When the traditional woman dress, them dress more modest. You see what I say?
Clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she look under the stove, so she dress modest.
No, this one traditional, I don't know, rough, you know. This is not traditional.
I don't believe in them things still.
Alright, see.
Not because just catch up in the hours underneath the traditional.
No man, listen. The traditional woman when I say catch up in the house, cause we not take it back to the 50s and 40s.
And the 60s.
Oh, we are bring it come down a little bit soon.
Yeah.
So you're saying that traditional woman that still valid the traditional ways, right? Like dressing modern.
Yeah, like
even though she
modest.
have a 9 to 5, and come home
Yeah.
to her husband dinner and them sort of flex
there's
them.
many.
Don't make decision without the husband and them sort of flex them. Okay.
Because you still have traditional
my wife
women
do
now,
that.
but them work.
Exactly. My wife won't make a decision without my input on it.
So is that a traditional woman or a mature woman now? Because that
it's traditional values.
And I guess that's where it comes down to the values. The values of the traditional.
Exactly. And
it's still present.
Not just. Yeah, it's still present, of course. A traditional woman is not extinct.
Mm-hmm. It's not just a
the value is different.
It's not as what it was before, where the woman does solely.
Exactly.
But she still maintains the household, allows him to work as she works, but then you realize in some contexts now there's a balance. They're a team,
But they do realize though that it's not only the women them changing, the men them are changed for the wrong reason.
For the wrong reason. I like what balance.
Yeah.
A lot of men are allowing women to take over, and the women we are well happy with doing that because they feel better. Say, oh, it's a go their way. And personally, I too like them man that we do that thing there, but we need to find a balance. We not have where the man a lead and the woman a lead. It can be a balance.
It should. No,
I'm not believe in it.
We
don't believe man need to fall back in them responsibility.
No.
I don't believe them need to fall back. Any man that is doing that now in the modern day society, I fall back and I make the woman take over. I just think that
man.
So question, Jameelia. What is the responsibility
of a man?
Yeah, Jameelia, more your fear.
The responsibility of a man is to basically stand up where he is the one that is providing. He's also the one giving instructions as it relates to going forward. You know, if I could take it biblically, you know, when we learn from one elder, you must say, you know, just by reasoning, you must say, you know, say when God did attack to Adam, him never involved Eve none at all. Him give Adam the instruction, and Adam's duty was to ensure, say, whatever the Lord instruct him to do, the family are aligned with the same instruction. You understand? And as it relates to the vision and moving forward in any relationship, I believe the man have the insight. I believe them have the know-how. Them need to have the know-how, and they need to know like what dangers may come if we go that way or that way there. You understand? I hate a man who can't think for himself and him not have no form of direction.
But Jameelia, sorry for cutting you, but sometimes when we do provide that, you know, no kind of come down hard and we still, you know, either say we're slow and we're thinking, or we're afraid to take chances or them sort of thing there.
But then that comes down to the woman not doing what she's supposed to do and supporting the way she should. She's trying to destroy your moral and self-esteem, and she's not helping you the way she should.
But you see, the thing is, no, I agree with Jeremy, you know, because nowadays the modern day woman them are lead more on the side of being a feminist, so to speak. You know, man, you can't think for yourself, you can't do that. All right, I'm large and I'm in charge, right? And you go back to what we had talked about earlier. Them think perfect on paper means perfect man.
That's the thing,
yeah.
I know, in terms of, that's what I say, beside every great man should be a great one. So maybe you said there's a balance towards things, you see? So if you have someone abuse the power, because as Jameelia said, man's supposed to take charge. You have someone decide, say, hey, this I want to say happen, and this happen. And if it not happen, if the woman upwards, it result to violence. Someone take it out of context. So me believe it's supposed to be a balance. It's supposed to be a teamwork where both of us can sit down and say,
hold on, Chavi. We agree, said definitely should be a balance, a team effort. But while some man do take too much power, the power go to them head, a lot of women are very resistant. A lot of women don't want to be led.
Well, Brian, can I debate that a bit? Because I've actually spoken with men who are quote unquote strong and independent, and they actually want a man to take charge. The problem is, too often, in them pride, them get offended when the man actually take charge.
No, that me just say. It's hard for literally just say.
But that's what they actually want. Because when they talk to them, that them want, you know. Them want the man take charge, but they want the man take charge in their way.
Exactly. But they cannot do that.
Oh, yeah, Jameelia say?
It seems like the balance on strike.
That woman, they confused.
No, man, multiple are like that. Multiple who are strong.
Multiple.
Who are strong.
Exactly,
right.
But alright.
Multiple are like that.
You literally take a shot.
Where's the Jamie? Where's the panda one there?
Some
I'm
of
gonna say
them
every
can't
woman
speak, man.
confused, but I'm gonna say every car. I'm gonna
Listen,
Jameelia take it.
So, Jameelia,
Listen, man.
Let me ask you a question. You know, you feel like, say, the traditional woman, right, was that her values were taught from a very young age, and she grew up and hold on to the traditional values there. In terms of valuing relationship and partnership, more than the woman where say, all right, I'm a modern woman, so I need to be strong and independent.
Well, a lot of things we grow up and learn from our parents, our grandparents, and things like that. It's not really right, you know, to check the levels. It's not really right.
It's outdated.
Like how we yeah, man, I didn't need to dash it. Like how Brian say, she wants a man to take charge. Know that the man to take charge, she have a problem with it. Something wrong with she because we want the man to take charge. And even though a lot of things that man will take charge in and them not really know how to deal with it or handle it or, you know, you can easy well go to him, you know, and say, you know, so we say, or you know, so we do not really right. Do it that way, and if the man humble enough to take the instruction and go along with it and see if it works or if it fails, you know, that will.
So yeah, so Jameelia, the man not know what man do neither.
No, sometimes there are certain situations where the man don't really have the experience of to deal with it or he don't really have the know how to deal with it, but the woman on the other end really have the experience. Probably she go through it in one previous relationship and yeah, she has said, you know what, babes, I don't really think you go about it the right way, you know. Just do it that way, yeah. And if him humble enough and say, alright, him a compromise or him a fall back and try it and see if it work or if it not work and it fail, alright, him know say man need to go back to the drawing board and see how him can get to overcome the obstacle here.
And we can jump on that too, because leading also means taking instruction and encouragement. You see me I say? So I can't lead and just be all egotistical and say either my way or the highway. You see me I say? I can lead, but you can suppose can come to you as my wife and say, yo, what do you think about this? How can we navigate that situation? You can answer and hear what she has to say, and then from what she has to say, having a conversation, we can say, all right, this is our approach. So I will make the decision in the end, but we did it together. But we can say, all right, this is how we are going to do. So I'm able to lead, but I take counsel from you as my wife, though, for say, all right, let's do this together. But now that we have talked, this is our best course of action.
So Ryan, is it that us men are afraid of the modern day woman?
You know, some men are. Like
why
some men.
So we're afraid. Well, afraid.
We're not afraid.
Yeah, afraid of what?
Yeah, we're not.
No, I'm using deliberately. Use the word afraid because we're
That's
afraid to
actually
acquire these.
In terms of the women.
Afraid of acquiring these women or want to date these women because we know that being submissive it's gonna be a hard task.
No,
who's submitting though?
No,
the modern day woman.
No,
it's hard for them to submit. Yeah, it's hard.
Well, here when we look at it, when we realize, you see the younger generation more like to go with, while the older men, where how they look at it is that talking to a woman who is independent and stand up for herself, right away you see the arguments coming. So you put on your foot and said this, and then she said that, and then that. So rather than go through all that, you'd rather go find a submissive woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, you're afraid.
No,
I wouldn't be afraid. I'm going to respect, you know. And if I can believe, if I go in a relationship nowadays where I'm not get a level of respect, I'm not going to stay.
Alright,
and the thing is, it makes sense. They stress outside the household, and then come stress again inside the household.
Is it the sense that this man now gonna elevate himself to outpass a modern day woman, so him rather just find somebody who can work with?
that's an argument.
Because-
Solid one, cause like a go on.
Because
No,
a man
you
can see
suppress.
a man can see a woman with her doctorate and masters and say, nope, I'm not gonna away there.
No,
Here's what I said.
No.
more at it that way because enough men are work and elevate themselves constantly. But the way I look on painter is the argument where I have constant. One case where I watch court, them one of them court show there, and I come and say, yo, we need to get a new car. I'm gonna say, no problem. I'm gonna go buy a car. Him give her away option, but she said no. Him give her about 5 options. She said no to all 5. So him say, all right, which car you want? She tell the man say, I am to pick a car. The man give her 5 options. When you look on that unnecessary conversation,
Yeah, but alright, like me say, I get what you're saying last night, but that's a scenario where you put me with the argument. I just feel like us man afraid to talk to a modern day woman based on them level of success.
I don't like that word.
I'm afraid. You know why? You have successful man too.
No,
Exactly.
that does my belief. I just believe that someone just afraid.
So Jeremy, look on this.
That woman who have a doctorate answer, you couldn't go talk to her then.
Who that?
You.
No, you can't put me. I'm not a weak man.
Us men, you know, us men.
No, I'm not a weak
You
man.
understand?
No, I don't know about Uno.
So
No, even a man we are still in the market and I push him on card.
Yeah.
We gotta talk to any woman, regardless of her level of education or not.
Exactly.
And them man, they
That
go
is the
half
man.
of them woman they too.
I have something to say on that. Though.
Exactly.
And them man that I go approach.
No, alright, but what me I say?
Can I say something?
But what me I say, Brian, if
Alright.
you go to that, me so make you get it out. If you go to that lady and say, don't do X, she'll come back and say, why? Someone will afraid of that why. Because some of the time we want to say do X and then take the X and just move with it.
I'm not afraid, no, Jeremy. Just avoid the whole confrontation. Sometimes just can't.
So why you believe X after going a confrontation?
Can I share something?
Because she basically says she independent where she is. She have everything, so she not must listen to what you.
Oh, so you're the lady just be submissive.
While the person who don't have as much as what she have would have probably listened to what you said. That's what I get from what you're saying. But
Alright, make we hear Rihanna say quick then.
Alright,
When you done, Chavi?
I'm a big up Kevin Samuels. I said,
100%. Yeah, man.
I pretty sure
100%.
because I posted something recently and someone commented and she has a feminist mindset, right? And she wants to brag about what she has her qualifications and so on and how the man have to match up. So what you see happening now, a lot of strong men who, let's say I see a woman who she has her doctorate, but I have a business. You understand? She have a doctorate in a particular area, but I'm a businessman. You understand what I mean? You have some women who believe because them have them doctorate, so the man who them I talk to have film doctorate to where me as a businessman could be earning more than her.
And Brian, me not cut you. Let me just add to what you said. That's why I say some women believe that perfect on paper means perfect man.
Exactly. So the thing is, when you see them talk now and say that the man African offer this and offer that. So when a man now see a woman like that, he might go hesitant for approach her because in a relationship you can probably try always flaunt your paper in my face.
Your paper.
You see me, I say any little argument because remember I've shared where I've been in a relationship where because of the age, so just age, you know, where because of the age, when situations arise, she try to flaunt my face, she's older than me. So that's why we are the problem. I get me answer. So that turned off for me. And there's a scripture, well, in a Proverbs, we say you better have a step on your house stop than for living in a house that nagging no man.
But
Is
next
it
thing to add to what you asked, Ryan, you believe say most of them so-called modern day women more feminist than anything?
It's getting that way.
So
So this is my country.
So this are we rather would be comfortable with a woman that if we say X, she no question it, she just go along with it.
It's a matter of question, but now we can have a discussion. We're supposed to have a discussion.
It's supposed to
I know. So you know my problem with your statement and Pinto, you make it like either she's very submissive or she bully.
Yeah. There's no middle ground.
No, you misread the term bully. I never said she was bully.
No, wrong choice of word.
Never said she was a bully.
You saying we being afraid of women who will stand up for themselves. I think you put the middle ground for you. Is either she's very submissive or we just
no, but it's just kind of leading a fact to most man who don't want to date a modern day woman because they're quote unquote just afraid to challenge them.
I'm not afraid in Jeremy. I'm not afraid. I can look on this. It all depends upon the value and everything will stand by. Because what you know, if me there with this woman, alright, and she introduced me poor and she have her money and the whole her friend rich, her family rich and everything, and she introduced me to her family and it's like me not have nothing to tell them, no story, no fancy college, no car, nothing. But at the end of the day, she is happy with me as a person and she's happy in a relationship. So the relationship is not based off enough money, nor nothing I have, but just the happiness and all of that. And we can sit down and reason and have fun and all kind of something. That good enough. But you gotta have a next woman over there, so we're gonna use our money. And no man no want that. When you feel unhappy, you have to feel the need to back and forth and argue and
me would want that as well, Charlie. Me would want that, but what me I say, and I not single out a scenario and I say the person gonna treat you bad or nothing. Me I say you have most man will tend to afraid to approach a modern day woman because simple. X no mean say you're not gonna have an argument, you know. X just mean that yo babes, me no want you do that, and then she come with why. And then you just see it as too much of a burden.
So what you do in that situation, Jeremy? What you do in that situation?
What me do in that situation?
Yeah, if it was you and you approach her right there.
When you keep coming with the white.
I'm not your reassess night.
In general, what would you recommend a man do? Do you say not like either so we just say, oh, once you say why, we just make sure go on. How would a man respond then? If she go to with one why no, she go to with the next why and keep the why the
why and why after that too.
That somebody answer if it's a man. That's why.
Hold on, you know. I don't want to get it wrong. That if a woman asks why, it means that she not gonna want to do it. She probably asks why because she want to know why you take them.
And that's where I'm going. Because them Snipe and Travis see why as a big negative to them.
So if it's just a simple, so okay baby, why we doing this? Then it's a simple explanation.
No, Brian.
Exactly. So I agree, Jeremy, dear.
You and I well know enough man like here why. Them just want to say want something and I eat. Why is that not on them?
I'm a chat. So
why is that not on them ego?
You see me? When she should ask why, and you should be able to direct her.
Yeah, and that tend to be the breakdown because the minute we hear a significant other say why or you think that right, then your ego feels so attacked.
Me can tell you say I don't have an ego problem and me don't mind my woman ask me why. But I've been in a relationship where me tell her something, she asks me why, me explain. And she hit me with another why. I'm try to break it down more. So most of the time she probably say, alright, tell me how to approach it. And that's still a problem. Me have to do it. What I'm doing, she don't like. I'm gonna tell her why. Me give her the permission to set the goal then. So how do I fix that? And this is from my personal experience. How am I go about fixing that? It always ends up stirring up some argument.
You know, some women are meticulous. You understand? So there are some times when the men say they might go take a certain decision or take a certain step, and even though he will relate it to his wife, and she's still kind of iffy in herself, like why really I do that? You know, sometimes men and all them just make the decision and that's it, and them don't really think about it. Them don't really mat it out like the woman would have mat it out like.
But me give you a pin there, Jameelia. Take a pin, because what Sniper say is after the many whys, him say, alright, you go ahead and set the goals then. So, another meticulous woman.
So after you tell her to set the goal, you explain everything.
Still can't set it.
Then then go look at different woman.
Then she needs
help. She need help.
She's stubborn. She's stubborn.
Then right there, so it's a red flag and you just need to get the hell out.
At which
and that is why from my part, so permission and from my point of view, if me can see that now woman, me I go avoid it. And I don't look at it me being afraid of her, but
exactly
come about. So why go in a relationship when me see the fight I go come?
So you rather want to talk to somebody submissive?
Anybody where you can come in agreement with nothing at all, them a problem.
Yeah, because really and truly, if you can't find an agreement with somebody, then that's a no. Whether she wants to be traditional or modern. You have enough traditional women who just can't keep their mouth shut.
Alright, they said in the day, I think Jameelia used the word earlier. When it comes down to whether traditional, modern, or it's a mix, I think it comes down to compromise. Because at the end of the day, at some point, somebody have to compromise. Because as I said, related to that woman, particular female that I was with, she didn't know to compromise and say, yeah, let me put in my, it's like, I'm supposed to lead, but at the same time, if what me I say no work, she not put in her input. I have to lead and I have to get it perfect the one time.
She don't have an opinion.
Right. So at the end of the day, I think it just comes to communication and compromise. How we can work this out and balance and move forward.
Well, the last thing. Go on, Travis.
No, that's why dating really important. Getting to know your partner and everything before you take it to a really next big step.
Definitely.
Right, Travis, sometimes when you reach the house, at the end, you see true colors.
That's true.
Where I go on when you marriage at first sight.
Marriage at first sight?
Marriage at first sight?
Yeah, the first time I meet my wife or husband, I wouldn't reach at the altar.
Oh,
that's a pre-arranged. That's a pre-arranged marriage. That's
like a Russian roulette.
No, I don't know pre-arranged.
No, I know this. The thing where you attack is like we call him program there.
It's like some.
But not time for green card that go on for.
Yeah.
Most.
No man, West Side.
No man, American and American. No green card. American and American.
Oh.
I think I see something similar like that on Netflix as well.
Yeah, people actually are doing them sitting in marriage at first sight. They actually volunteer to go do that.
Yeah, and then when you're there in the marriage, one bag of things them go through, you know.
Yeah, that me not advise nobody to do that.
It's on phone still.
It's on phone.
Personal idiot, man.
That's why the divorce rate is so high.
Remember going to the marriage and see what I go on.
No, not even divorce, they don't forget. They live with that for the rest of their life. Or then dead, they live with it.
Yo, but the last thing I gotta say for that traditional and modern day thing, there can be a perfect blend, right? Because not all modern day things are wrong. Not all modern day traits for the woman them have are wrong.
True.
And not all traditional characteristics are old and obsolete.
True.
But you see, when them start move to the feminist part, that feminism thing is trying to make men obsolete, because you cannot be a traditional or modern.
It's not like you bash the feminist then still in a Brian.
But no bash man.
So like you bash.
But tell him again last night, them a bash man.
Feminists are bash men.
But we're gonna left it there so still enough.
My last piece where me have to say is, if Eve never listened to Adam to backside, or the woman never listen to Eve.
And on that note,
we're done this stuff. Yeah.
But never ready for that one.
Yeah, that is it. We're gonna sign it off right this day. You know, as it, man, them, you know, what good.
Elf man.
I'm gonna be myself today.